And we're probably live.
I think we're live.
I think we're live too. Rock and roll. Good morning, everybody. Episode 50.
All right.
50.
Wow.
The big 50 of the Get Shit Done show. We've got Rory. He's back.
All right. Hey, Rory.
What's up?
He heeded the call. He answered it.
He did.
The call said, Rory, you want to be a co-host? And Rory said, yes.
All right.
No reluctant hero here.
Nope. Let's
Forthright hero diving straight headfirst into the action. Rory, you're gonna get a clear understanding of what it means to be a Get Shit Done co-host today.
Let's rock and roll.
We're gonna set some expectations. Awesome. Let's start with some positive focus. Rory.
Yo.
What are you happiest or most excited about in your life right now?
Two things. Personally, my oldest daughter wants to go to Disney today and spend her day off with me. So we're going to go to Disney and spend the day together and have some fun. Professionally, I finished my first ever, I can't believe I'm saying this, front-end product related to my ad creative strategy.
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
Great.
Tell us about it. Just in brief.
Yeah, in brief. So basically these 8 reports are all part of what I call the high impact ad formula. It's the structure and framework that I've used for over 10 years to write ads that routinely beat controls, cut costs, and bring in better quality clients. And
awesome.
It's a need in the marketplace because most people running ads right now suck.
So much aggression.
So much aggression.
So much aggression. Why do you feel that most people running ads right now suck? In comparison to any other time?
No. I mean, I think most people running Facebook ads don't know what they're doing and have never really known what they're doing. I say now because your large crop of Facebook advertisers learned from attending a webinar that taught them how to make $10K a month running an agency or running ads for other people. And so you learned like a step-by-step system. You didn't learn critical thinking skills. You didn't learn the basic fundamentals of direct response marketing. The Facebook ad platform has radically changed. So these people are doing things that don't work anymore. They're trying things that they see other people doing that don't work. And I also have the unique perspective after, working with hundreds of clients and running their ads, spending tens of millions of dollars, working internally for a $50 million a year company and a $75 million a year company, overseeing their ad buyers. Most of them don't know what they're doing. They think they have to run video ads because that's what Facebook wants or that's the hottest trend. So it's like throwing spaghetti against the wall. Let's see what sticks. I'll ask both of you guys, where in the direct response handbook is throw a bunch of shit at the wall and see what works?
Well, I mean, it's a good argument, but honestly, like, I love operating that way. Like, I've always operated that way throughout my bit, because it's really fun. You learn a lot of new stuff, and I don't know. I mean, there are situations where you don't know what's going to work, and you do need to try a bunch of stuff. On the other hand, if you can hire a mentor or work with someone who's been down the path and been down the road, then they can tell you what's going to stick to the wall ahead of time, so you don't have to make such a big mess. Both are true, I think.
Yeah, no, but both are absolutely true, Tellman, 100%. And I knew that was going to be your response when I threw out the question. It's really just one of those things where. So how do I put this? People, I had a client say to me a couple weeks ago, "Why, we're 6 weeks in, Rory. I'm disappointed. We're only running one ad."
Right.
Okay. Well, how many ads should we be running? Well, Alex Hormozy and all the top gurus say we should be testing hundreds of ads.
Right.
Really?
Right.
Why? Well, how else do you know your message is working? Well, let's look at the data. What does the data tell us? The data tells us the ads are working.
Right.
So, and by the way, the one ad that you're disappointed we're running brought in an almost $30,000 sale.
Right.
So do we want to throw a bunch of shit at the wall, or do we want to double down on what's working, scale that up, and then start to test? And I think that's what I'm trying to get at here is, yes, you can throw a bunch of stuff at the wall, but when you throw stuff up against the wall, direct response dictates you have data to drive your throwing shit at the wall.
Right. Right.
You're being selective at what you're throwing at the wall. We're not just doing it because we spun a wheel and went,
right.
Well, let's do this.
Totally. So okay. So you created these 8 reports, and are the 8 reports the front end product?
Yes, sir.
And there's a sales letter for it, or an order form, or like how sophisticated is your sales process?
Yep. So there is a sales page for it. I'd say it's about 98% done, maybe 99% done. I would have no problem launching it today if I had to. Checkout form needs to be cleaned up a little bit, but the products are already built in.
Great.
And yeah, I'm fucking excited.
How much are you going to what's going to be your price point when you open the doors?
I'm gonna start off at $27 for these.
Great. And do you have upsells or no upsells?
I do have I have one upsell in mind that's pretty concrete, which will be, so like these 8 reports.
Yeah.
If you read these 8 reports and implement everything in them, your ads will get better. But it's also just the beginning of the rabbit hole.
Right.
So if you want to go really deep down the rabbit hole with me and, accelerate your success, then there is the rest of the program for my creative strategy, which I'm just ballparking. We'll sell it as a $500 course.
Yeah.
I probably could do 1,000. I could do 2,000, but everybody has those. So let's throw it out at $500. I'll offer it as an OTO for $195.
Yeah.
And the reason I can do it at these prices is I don't want to get rich necessarily off of info products. I'll gladly build a business around it, but the long-term play is really, I want the right companies to hire me to come in and consult with their media buying team, level up their strategy, help them scale to 10, 20, 30, 50 million a year. Maybe get some equity partnerships out of it. Who knows? That's the long-term strategy.
Cool. And so what platform are you choosing to launch this low ticket offer on?
Facebook.
Sorry, what shopping cart?
I am going to be using ClickFunnels to start.
Cool. So you're going to run Facebook ads to a ClickFunnels funnel.
Yep.
Sweet. Awesome. So, we're going to come back to this in a moment. Eric, what's your positive focus?
Positive focus. I did my webinar last night, and
cheers.
Thank you. Yeah, I felt a lot of resistance to doing it, and at the same time, I was somewhat excited because I just made a bunch of new webinar slides, and I knew it was going to be at least slightly different from the previous ones. And then something unexpected happened, and my girlfriend was like, her friend came over, and they were making plans, and they were going to go to the Mexican restaurant and get nachos and margaritas, and it was like right now. And I was like, I can't go because I have to do this webinar.
Yeah.
And I was also thinking about how I wanted to make my webinar more streamlined and fast paced and get it down to about a half an hour, where it's been 45 minutes plus the previous ones. And I told them, could they wait half an hour? And I'm going to bump out this webinar real quick. And they said yes. And I dove into the webinar, and I just hammered it out in like half an hour. And I kept it really upbeat and was like cracking jokes. And yeah, it went really well.
Cool.
There was a couple of moments where I kind of like froze up. There was a lot of distractions. Kind of people around me were not aware that I was like delivering a presentation for my business, and they were like futzing around with the television set right next to me
Yeah,
and
dude,
stuff. And I was like,
you gotta have it. You gotta sit everybody down for a talk, dude.
I know, I really
That's
do.
absolutely
I was like,
unacceptable.
that
No,
can't
that's
happen.
like I'm on stage. I'm giving a presentation in front of thousands of people, and you're making noise.
Right.
Absolutely not. That's why you need your own space, dude.
I
That's
know.
why
I
you
feel
need to
that
be
really
in a
strong.
room or in an office with
Yep.
but yeah, that's this is you're getting. I mean, everyone goes through this with their first few webinars, but like,
Yep.
let me save you some time and like make some rules and
Yeah. No, I need that.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
not going to work. That's total
Right.
bogus. And what you can do is you can say, next time you're on the webinar with me, you're co-presenting, by the way, so that you can get a taste for what it's like.
Sure. Okay.
Right.
Cool.
Or not,
Yeah.
you know, but like, yeah, that's not, that's something where you have to be really clear. And sometimes like, yeah.
Yep. No, I feel that.
No interruptions during webinars unless somebody's dying.
I know.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Well,
But yeah, that's my positive focus.
It
It went good. It was good practice, and yeah, it just showed me where I can further refine the webinar. And yeah, I feel like I'm getting better at presenting, more natural with it, and yeah, just have more confidence in my delivery.
Great.
Yep.
Rock and roll.
Hey, so I want some details here.
Okay.
What was the webinar on?
Okay, yeah, so it was called the Wave of Prosperity webinar, and it was all about the high ticket network marketing opportunity that I'm working with Enagic and Kangen Water.
Yeah, Eric sells high-end water ionizers and the opportunity to sell high-end water ionizers.
I am familiar with the company.
Cool. Yep.
Yeah.
Have you drank Kangen water before, Rory?
I believe so. I'm pretty certain I did out at a mutual friend's house at a mini mastermind.
Cool. So what would be interesting would be to at some point have Rory do a teardown of your sales and marketing system to promote your webinar, and what would it take to be able to, in his opinion, promote it with ads on Facebook successfully? Like what do you have to change?
Okay, cool. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
The landing page, the thank you page, the webinar itself, in order to be feasible to get opt-ins and book calls at a reasonable price. Like that would be a very interesting way to take a gander at this whole thing. So awesome. Way to knock out your webinar. And Eric, that's like your third time you've like your third webinar ever, essentially, right?
Pretty much third or fourth, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So Eric just recently went through Brunson's Brunson had a 3-day webinar, one-to-many training, and Eric went through that, and so he's jumped on the weekly webinar train, and he's doing the webinar. He has a Facebook group, and he's trying to get people registered for the webinar and to then book calls. Right?
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I love that very much. So are you following the perfect webinar script?
More or less. Yeah. I mean, implementing what I learned there. Yeah, exactly.
It's such a great script, dude.
No, it is. Yeah, I need to work on my offer stack at the end, I think, is the one piece that I'm really missing right now.
Yeah. Did he teach the perfect webinar script?
He did have a segment on the perfect webinar. Yeah, he incorporated that into the 3-day training.
Yeah, that's a whole product that he made like probably close to 10 years ago now, I think, maybe a little bit less.
Yep.
But I have that sitting around somewhere. I think I might be able to find it for you to check out. But that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, let's see. What am I stoked about? I guess I'm really excited today about all the hypnosis clients I've been working with. It in the last few months, I've just started working with so many individual clients after many years of not putting much emphasis on that at all. And it's been cool because it's reconnecting me with the actual struggles and the actual challenges that people are facing. So many people are good at showing up for a job, good at showing up for work for a decade or more, keeping their job, security, all the stuff. But then for the love of God, they can't show up for themselves in their own business when nobody else is watching, when nobody else is looking, and when there's no outside accountability. But they blame their lack of progress on all sorts of other random stuff that seems like the real reason that they're not able to move forward. And so I've been working with a lot of people. Some people are internet entrepreneurs and doing the direct response thing and webinars and funnels. Some people, though, are investors and day traders who are in the retired years and lost a crap load of money during COVID. And now they're traumatized. They're gun shy. And then when they go to implement their day trading strategy or whatever, they hesitate and then they don't make a move and then nothing happens. And then whatever money they have is slowly dwindling away. And so I've been working with people to remove the hesitation, to start taking action, to rebuild their confidence, rebuild their internal self-worth and belief in themselves, and do the stuff that they know is going to make the biggest difference. And so that's been a pattern that's come up time and time again. That's been very interesting. So it's been cool just kind of working with people one-on-one and really getting in there and finding out what's messing people up and how to help. So that's been a really great process. That's what I'm happy about. And we have Rory. We have a new co-host. So Rory, first of all, this is a work in progress, and we think we know what we're doing, but we know we don't really know what we're doing, right? And so we're on episode 50, and here's kind of what I'm thinking, but we haven't really talked any of this through. So what a great time to do it, right? Is we're ultimately building toward having 7 co-hosts for the Get Shit Done show, 1 for every day of the week is the idea. But as of this moment, we have 3 co-hosts. Eric is our primary co-host, and then we have Curtis on Sundays, and then we now have you on Wednesdays. And so a couple of things. First thing is that this is going to work out for as long as it works out. At some point, it's not going to make sense to keep going, probably, right? Unless we're like, I don't know, both 150 years old and still co-hosting the Get Shit Done show. But I would recommend that we both, unless you're opposed to this, aim for 12 episodes to start. Let's go for 12 weeks and see how it goes and see if it's both like still generative and helpful and cool and serving everybody's needs and whatever. So there's not like a there's not no end in sight, right? So if it isn't working out or isn't beneficial for any reason for either one of us, after 12 episodes, we can have like a little heart-to-heart on that and do what we need to do. But how does 12 episodes sound to get the ball rolling?
Let's go.
Great. Cool. This is episode 1. So the next thing that we do is either bring a real world question that you're struggling with, that you'd like some either advice on or even a hypnosis session about, to the table, ideally, and some cool process, some cool nugget of wisdom, some story that would be relevant to our entrepreneurial viewers that in some way, shape, or form relates back to getting shit done and probably your area of expertise with media buying, I would expect, right? But we can pull the show in any direction we ultimately choose. And I would love to bring in additional people for us to interview. So we can totally bring in all sorts of awesome entrepreneurial type common friends and people that we're individually friends with that we want to introduce to each other. So all of these are options. But Rory, you had like a real interesting update when we talked just a few days ago. About what had happened since you and I had a conversation. You effectively launched your agency, got a creative director back, and landed your first client for the newly reopened agency very quickly in like 24 to 48 hours. What's changed in the last few days? Where are things at and where are you going?
Yeah, good question. So I've kept the conversations going with people. I've got multiple conversations going on all the time. My list of 25 people that you first asked me to write is now probably up to 40.
Great.
I will get to that dream 100. Just having conversations with great people, which by the way, I think I'm supposed to tell you that Winter says hello.
Oh, I haven't talked to Winter in forever.
Yeah, he and I had a good
Winter
chat.
is coming.
Yeah, he and I had a great chat yesterday. Such a solid dude.
Is he still primarily focused on his web? I mean, I don't reveal anything that he wouldn't want you to talk about, but is he still focused on Avent?
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
Yeah, Winter Valco has like the ultimate supercar of evergreen webinar software. It's just it's like
Cool.
it can do everything.
Yep.
Pretty robust.
It's pretty impressive. We should get him on the show to talk to him, because what a smart guy. So yeah, having lots of conversations. Haven't signed any new clients just yet for the creative agency. I'm also not this second really like going as hard and dedicated to that as I need to be, simply because I'm managing basically 3 different things right now, or we could say probably more. But let's look at, one primary focus was to get these reports done so that I can launch my newsletter, have this as, the offer on the thank you page. I've got a new consulting offer that I've got a sales letter I wrote that I just need to punch up a little bit. And then of course there's the ad creative agency, which I'm starting to talk about more and more. So it's just really my attention right now is just making sure I continue to get shit done every day. That's moving me closer and closer and closer. And I will be honest, there is a little part of me that's like, focusing on 3 things is a little dangerous when we could be focused on one. At the same time, I also know personally the side effects, if you will, or the impact of having multiple open loops. So I'm just, buttoning shit up so that I can really drill down and give one of these the legs that it needs.
Cool.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
So, how exactly did you manage to? I know you talked about this a little bit when we spoke before, because the laptop story and all this with your creative director. Is it John?
John. Yep.
John. Yep. What's John's last name again?
Marquez.
John Marquez. How did you manage to get him back specifically and get a new client all in such a short period of time? Like specifically the client part, but building the team is a critical part. If you're running an agency, you need the right people in place to get the work done and to do all the pieces. And some people can do that as a one person show, but it's hard. And so how did you manage to so quickly land in this case, a proven team member and a new, presumably high paying client, all like that's a lot of shit to get done in 24 hours.
It is, right? So I think it's a good parallel to what we experience in the industry as like overnight success.
Right.
What people see is, and what you're summarizing is, you did this in 24 hours. No, I really didn't do it in 24 hours. It's been going on for weeks. In terms of managing relationships, showing up, giving my all, working relationships, and making offers. So if we look at, John, my creative director, so last time you were referring to the fact that I met him through a social media post just by sending him a laptop after his entire condo went up in flames and he had nothing.
Right.
We kept in touch, and then years later I found out he's a graphic designer, and I was like, shit, let's get you on board with the agency. He did such a phenomenal job for years. We hit some hard times, and I eventually we parted ways. I was going to say I let him go, but he took some time off. We got back into discussions because a job, well, I don't know if it was a job, right? It's a contract position. They wanted a creative director for their brand.
Right.
And I was like, you need to talk to John, like right now. I knew John was available. I knew he was looking for work. I knew he could fill the position. So I went to the CMO and I said, you need to talk to this guy. You need to talk to him now. He put together a portfolio of a lot of the work that we did together with our unlimited ad creative service that really blew away the CMO and the board. And they were like, bring him on. During that time, as you know, Tellman, Eric, you learned a little bit last week, but you'll understand. I wear my heart on my sleeve, for better or worse. People, what you see is what you get. I don't put on a facade. And so John, reached out. He's like, hey, how are things going? And I said, things are okay, but I'm dealing with this and I'm dealing with that. And he said, hey, is there anything that you need help with? And I was like, I really appreciate that, John. I said, really the only thing right now is I need you to come back as my creative director. I've got some projects that are, slowing me down. I said, the rub is I don't feel like I can bring this to you and get you on board because I don't have the money to pay you what you're worth right now.
Right.
And his response immediately was, you don't have to pay me right now for what you've done for me over the years. If I can help you get back on your feet, let's go. And I was like, holy shit.
Right.
So I didn't really engage him in work for probably another week or maybe 2.
Right.
Circumstances led us to another conversation and I said, let's go. I said, let's do it. And he said, yeah, he came on board, took the projects over. People talk about, Tellman, like sidebar, like, there's this whole thing about delegation. People have a hard time giving up control because they're afraid people won't be able to do what you can do.
Right.
The great thing about John, right? Like people say, well, would you rather have someone who can do it at 80% than you trying to be 100%, 20% of the time?
Right.
Well, John's not 80%. John is literally 100%. He's better than I am.
Right.
So he's in his zone of genius, and now it's my job to go out and find the clients. So how did we get the new client? I mean, again, it started months ago with me posting on Facebook about some of the work that I do, the perspective that I have. A brand reached out to me and said, hey, we'd like to know if you can come in and do an audit. Let us know what's working, what's not working. So I did an audit. Their media buyer wanted more training and information from me, or I should say their director, because he's not actually a media buyer. He just oversees them. And so when I made a post about John coming back and our creative agency, he signed up immediately.
Okay.
So go ahead.
So let's talk about the post.
Yep.
So more or less, what was the nature of the post? Was there an image? Was there a video? Was it just text? And what did you say? Oh, look at that. My video just kicked out. So yeah, anyway, just keep talking while you look out into space.
I was going to say, I like the stars. So it works. Where are we? I'm trying to find that post. I mean, listen, when I do posts, most of the time there is some sort of image tied to it, because, you want to grab attention, and I fully believe in practicing what I preach. So yeah, this is actually here. I'm going to have some fun. Can I share my screen on this thing?
Yeah. Let me make sure you can do that.
Looks like I can.
Cool. Where are you living, Rory? Are you out east somewhere?
I'm in Tampa.
In Tampa. Okay, cool. Yep.
So can you see my screen?
No, not yet. Hold on. I'm working on it.
Okay.
Not quite.
Let me see. I'm trying to change this up a little bit.
Well, anyway, there we go. We can see
All
it
right,
now.
there it is. Yeah.
So, this is actually an ad campaign that I ran a couple of years ago for our creative business. As you may or may not know, there's a certain group of people who like to advertise their awards as if their prospect cares about their awards.
I saw this post. Okay.
Yeah. So this ad actually performed really, really well when we ran it. And so anyway, I just, an attention grabbing post in this case, if I'm going to talk about my creative agency, I grabbed one of the creatives we ran with. And I basically, from the heart, it's more or less a informal press release. It's official. We're back in business. As of today, I'm beyond thrilled, yada, yada, yada. here's what we do, here's how we do it. Here's who we've made ads for. If you'd like to sign up, here's the opportunity. Like that's it.
Great.
Cool.
And how much is your offer? Like what's your basic, like when for somebody to sign up to work with you in that way, like roughly how much are you charging?
So good question. We have a couple of different tiers. And honestly, it's awesome. This is so cool. Another great thing about bringing someone else in. So our first tier is $1,000 a month, and that's unlimited ad requests. You can have 3 open projects at once. John is actually working as we speak on rearranging some of our tiers to make it a little bit more affordable on the entry price for some people, and also including some high ticket with more hands-on services from us.
And that's at unlimitedadcreative.com, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Cool. So, all right. So people can really focus in on what the problem is. So for $1,000 a month, I can come in and I can get an unlimited ads created, unlimited, like what's like, I don't like, who is this exactly for? Like who is the ideal entrepreneur, business owner, and what problem does this solve for me?
Great question. So this is for really anybody running ads on Facebook. You need to be making some money, right? At $600 a month, it is a little bit of a commitment, or $1,000 a month, it is a little bit of a commitment. So, people just screwing around with a couple $100 here and there on their budget, we can help, but the price point doesn't work for them. So really any advertiser, freelancer, agency, because we do agency work. Doesn't matter how many clients you have, you're basically white labeling us, because it's not like we're branding the images. Small businesses that are that have an internal team will be your outsourced creative team. And the benefit is there's a couple, I think. Number one is there's a lot of people out there, as we talked about earlier, who think the answer to scaling up an offer is just more ad creative. Well, I don't believe that's true, but you want more ad creative, my team can pump it out. The true benefit is that there are other design services in the business, right? There's plenty of them. Most of them are created by designers, people who like to make shit look good.
Right.
They're not marketers, they're not advertisers, and they certainly don't have my track record and experience in running ads. So all of these designs are specifically created with direct response conversion in mind. Right. So one big thing, this will serve 2 purposes here, Tellman. This will be a benefit, but also be a teaching moment for anyone running ads who needs to understand something important. Most people say all your image needs to do is stop the scroll. That is the biggest pile of crap on the planet. Anybody can stop the scroll. Anybody. It is so easy to stop the scroll. But do you want to stop the scroll for just anybody? Or do you want to stop the scroll for your ideal prospect and qualify them before they click, so they're teed up for your offer? And
you're doing that with an image.
An image.
Wow. Could you share more about how you're achieving that?
I can, for $27. No, I'm kidding. I mean, it's all based on psychological principles. Most of the industry is really big on, again, this idea of just stop the scroll. So, people are making stupid faces. They're posting pictures of themselves. They're posting pictures of their cats. Like, ooh, everybody likes cat pictures. Let's use cats. Awesome. So you're a high ticket coach and you're going to help somebody save their marriage for $9,000. And your best first impression on someone is, here's a picture of my cat upside down getting belly rubs. I mean, that's a lot of, you're putting a lot of faith in your ad copy and your offer, which can work, right? Blind copy.
So, well, look, let me ask you a question, Rory.
Yeah.
So speaking of, like, you can talk about cats, and for whatever reason, the internet and cats, but what about sex sells? So what's your take on, what's your take on using scantily clad women in your ads to stop the scroll? Is this a technique you use or you absolutely don't use? I mean, obviously lots of people use this and usually their ads don't stick around for very long in my experience, but I'm curious about your experience.
So sex definitely does sell. And that's an important thing to keep in mind. If you're a good marketer and an advertiser, you have to be mindful of that. I don't use, so just like my formula, I don't use shit randomly.
Right.
So, one of the core principles of my ad philosophy is that if you are going to use a person in your ads, you want to have an attractive character. Sure.
Right.
You want to have an attractive character that you can relate to. An attractive character, by definition, doesn't mean they're a gorgeous, provocative woman or man. It has to fit, right? Like I ran ads years ago for an erectile dysfunction company, one of the pharmacies that, you book a call with the doctor, get the generic Viagra, at a discount. And all of their images were very, very sexually suggestive.
Right.
I didn't like them.
Right.
I didn't like them. I advised them to get a little bit away from that because, there's a fine line in everything we do. Do you want people who are stopping because there's a woman engaged in a sexually explicit activity? Or do you want to send a message? So there's a fine line.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, and I'll give you an example. We were selling I think we were selling an ebook to a supplement back end. And I had a very, very specific ad creative set up for the book. And the client said to me, well, when we run email blasts and whatnot, we always include an attractive woman. Like everybody loves to stop and look at an attractive woman. Let's do that. And I said to him, I'm like, it's not going to work. Like but we're going to get more clicks. And I'm like, yeah, you're going to get more clicks, but I don't want more clicks. I want the right clicks. And he insisted. So I said, all right, let's throw up a gorgeous woman. Sure enough, man, sub $1 CPCs, CTRs through the roof. Nobody bought.
Right. Classic. I'm not terribly surprised. Right. Yeah.
It really is all about right message to the right market and the right medium at the right time. And I don't think people take that to heart.
So let's talk about running ads to an offer that you don't own. So in this case, we've got Eric, who is running ads. Well, who isn't running ads, as far as I know.
Not currently, no.
Have you ever run ads?
I've run Google ads on YouTube. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And so running ads in this case to an opt-in for a webinar, presumably.
Yep.
And then ultimately booking a call and getting on the phone for high ticket sales, right? That you earn less than 50% on, right?
Yep.
Right. And so essentially, for all sakes and purposes, it's affiliate marketing, right? I mean, it's affiliate marketing until you build your team and your team starts duplicating, right? And so,
right.
Rory, what's your experience, and in particular in the modern day and age, of is it feasible for an affiliate marketer or a network marketer who is trying to build their business to run ads, or where should someone like Eric start with such a thing?
Yeah. So right now, the important thing to know is that the marketplace is as competitive as it's ever been. Right.
Right.
So what that means is costs are up. So it's your margins at the beginning are going to be very, very tough as an affiliate marketer, as you dial it in. And the reality is, it's going to be hard no matter what your offer is. If it's your own offer and you're established, and it's going to be hard to chisel away at cold traffic, at paid ads, to dial in your message to stand out from everybody else.
Yep.
So you've got to go in knowing, and this is what a lot of people get wrong, right? They just think, oh, I'm going to turn on ads and I'm going to put $1 in and get $4 out. you're not going to get there for 3, 6, 7, 8 months. It's going to take time. You're going to have to chip away at it. What do I know about this? Tellman, you and I had a talk many, many moons ago. And I generally bring this up. We had a talk with Rick Thompson. I was a rep for doTERRA essential oils.
Oh,
Okay.
yes, the old essential oil conversation. Yeah,
Okay. And
I forgot about that.
I ran a webinar to cold traffic. And at the time, I was focused on building my ADHD info product business and coaching business. And I know that for my market, and Eric, I'm going to talk this out. So hopefully there's some idea here for you.
Yep. Okay.
And then
cool.
I'll ask you questions and we'll apply it to yours.
Great.
So in the ADHD space, one of the biggest issues that people have is medication, right? Medications come with horrible side effects. The biggest ones being, my son, my daughter turn into a zombie. They lose their personality. They don't eat. They don't sleep. There's the big ugly fear of, I'm giving my child the equivalent of cocaine. So there's all these fears, right? So everybody at the time was looking for a non-medication alternative. And in my experience, most non-medication alternatives don't work for a couple of reasons. One of them being is that most people want the instant gratification that medication provides.
They want the quick fix.
They want the quick fix.
Yep.
Medication, you can't get that with anything else aside from medication. Everything else takes time and discipline and repetition, and that's a lot of hard work. The cool thing about essential oils that I found is they do work very quickly. They're not long lasting, unfortunately. So I started to go, all right, how am I going to get this out there? I think it's a great solution. We were using it at home with my son. I was using it. Essential oils were hot as fuck when I did this, man. I mean, you couldn't go anywhere on Facebook without running into essential oil reps.
Okay.
And I basically said there's a couple angles I can take. And what I ended up doing was, I think, just like the number one non-medication approach to helping your child with ADHD, or it might have been, the non-medication approach to helping your child increase focus, yada, yada, yada. And people signed up like gangbusters.
Okay.
So what I did, and again, I want to figure out the parallel for you.
Hold on.
Yep.
Did you talk about essential oils in the ads or on the landing page?
No.
Okay,
That's
Eric.
interesting.
Ding, ding,
Yeah.
ding, ding, ding. That's why I brought it up.
That's exactly where I was going with this. Is I treated it like a funnel, right? Like, here's the number one alternative to ADHD. So we come in with the webinar and it's like, hey, everybody, welcome to today's training on, the best alternative treatment I've found to help our kids with ADHD.
Right.
And we talked about what are the problems? What are the problems that the people face? And we talked about that a little bit, right? Like, there's bad behavior, can't sit still, can't focus, can't get work done in school, constantly getting in trouble, being sent home, yada, yada, yada. So, you go the medication route and it works, but then there's all these side effects and you're concerned about this and you're concerned about that. So people come to me, Dr. Stern, what are some alternatives? I've heard about, biofeedback, neurofeedback. Can we control it with diet? What about elimination diets? Can we cut out red dye number 5, this, that, and the other thing? And so I would just list them out. And then I would talk about each one of these can work, but they require repetition. They require patience. They're not a quick fix. They're not an easy button. The cool thing is I did find an easy button. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. That's when I hit them with essential oils.
Okay.
Right. So now let's bring it over to you, right? Nobody, I don't think anyway, most people are not looking to buy, I think it's a multi-$1,000 water system, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a 4-figure water ionizer.
Yeah. Okay. So what you just did there, you're kind of speaking industry speak. It's a 4-figure water ionizer, yada, yada. We gotta dumb this down.
Okay. Yeah.
To what are people concerned about right now? Okay. And honestly, I think right now is a great time to tap into this.
Okay, cool.
Look at what's going on and I'm not making this political for my beliefs. I'm making this, let's look at what's going on in America right now. The country is split right down the middle, and you've got one side, and I think actually most people are probably really pissed off with illness and, you know, the healthcare system, but some people are still that split. Some people are, well, we got to trust doctors, we got to trust the science. And then you've got front and center this new administration. You've got Robert F. Kennedy coming in, who is supposedly going to shake up Health and Human Services and the FDA and this, that, and the other thing. So you think about it, what are in people's minds on this topic? Well, RFK wants to pull fluoride out of the water. If I'm not mistaken, an ionizer does that, right?
Oh, you can get a pre-filter that does that. It doesn't do it by itself.
Okay, but it can, right?
It can, yeah, exactly.
Right? If I'm not mistaken, and this is going to be huge for you when you get to the pitch, you want to demonstrate the machine, right? So I think of like the Brita filters. Brita actually like poured out a glass of water, of tap water, and filtered it, and you could see all the chemicals. Then they ran it through their pitcher, and it caught all the minerals and additives and whatnot, and you got clear water. So you've got to be demonstrative, but this is at the end, right? We got to go back to the beginning, which is, what are these people's concerns? What's the health concern, right? You've got the pharmaceutical company that wants you to operate in a disease model. They want to keep you sick so they can treat you.
Right.
I want to keep you healthy. So to be healthy, you need to do this, and this. And there are options, right? You can go out and buy a Brita filter, and you're going to have a pitcher of water, and you're going to have to remember to fill up that pitcher of water, and you're going to have to remember to change the filter every so often. Then you can go out and you can buy the Culligan system, where they come in and they put up this whole filtration system in your garage. It's multiple thousands of dollars, but then you have to go buy salt and chlorine and this shit and the other shit. And most people I know, especially today, are so damn busy working 2 jobs, running their kids around, that we just need a quick fix. We need a quick solution. Right. So we've got this great system that, we can install right on your sink counter or underneath the sink, set it and forget it, pull the tap, drink the water. It's healthy. It's this, it's that. And then you have to think, like, what are the benefits to drinking clean water? Okay. One thing that comes to mind off the cuff is, you're supposed to drink, what is it? 8-ounce glasses or 12-ounce glasses a day.
Right.
You're going to want to drink this water. It's going to taste so clean, so pure.
What's coming up as you're talking, Rory, though I agree with everything you're saying, I think that there's one big difference.
Yep.
That we need to, that Eric is going to have to address, which is, you already knew that you were an ADHD specialist.
Yep.
You already had background in helping ADD. You have a degree around it, and you had already started building an ADD list. You're familiar with the topic. You're familiar with the struggles, and you found a product that actually helped you and your family.
Yep.
To solve some of the biggest ADD related symptoms and challenges.
Yep.
Right.
That is the wound, right? That you're rubbing salt in, right? The trick is that general health probably isn't the wound. Maybe you can pull it off. Maybe it has something to do with dehydration and weight loss, or dehydration and memory loss, or dehydration and like find out what maybe it's not about dehydration, but if you're ultimately selling water, maybe what you're really selling.
He's not selling water though.
That's the thing. Yeah, I'm not really talking about the water much. I'm more hitting it from the biz op side of, making money online, and the opportunity to be a distributor.
Right. So doTERRA had a money-making side.
Yep.
And I did build a team. I think I could have done a better job, but I did opt to go the opposite direction, right? Most people selling network marketing sell the biz op.
Mm-hmm.
And I went, let's sell the health benefits.
Okay, cool.
Right. And I know a couple other people that did it. I was missing some key things to build my team.
Yep.
For instance, one person, what I could have done was I could have been a better leader and built the team for my team. So you don't need to come in and do the biz op stuff. You just come in, you use the product. I'm going to build the team under you. And then I'll make sure that we've got trainings, this, that, and the other thing. I didn't do that. Right.
Okay.
So let's back up to Tellman's point. Tellman, you're right. To a large degree, you're right. There's two things I'd call your attention to. Number one, this is a no research done brainstorming session.
Yeah. 100%.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is, you mentioned my background, my existence in the space, if you will. And believe it or not, that doesn't mean shit.
Well, it does mean something though, dude, because you knew you were focused on serving the ADHD market and solving their pain.
Right, but hold on, hear me out. What I'm getting at is I had credentials, I had a background, I had a history. But having my doctorate didn't make a difference to anybody.
Agreed.
The president of the Attention Deficit Disorder Association at the time when I was a board member was a school teacher. And she was a world-renowned ADHD expert. So what we need to look at with Eric, you're talking about the story. What's his hero's journey?
Totally.
Eric's hero's journey may have started, and again, we have to make it authentic, Eric. I'm not saying let's lie, let's bullshit people.
Exactly.
I want it to be authentic, but like one hero's journey could be, I was looking at, I was looking for a business opportunity. I came across Kangen Water. I started doing my research. It led me down a path to realize whole water is not safe. There's mercury in it. There's lead in it. There's this and that. I wanted more for my family. That, and again, that's a shit one, right? Like we'd have to sit down, process it, refine it. But there's a guy, I forget his last name. I think it's Mike something. He goes by the name The Health Ranger.
Okay.
He was thrown off of Facebook for spreading misinformation many, many years ago. He's active on X.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, he literally was a guy that just wanted to push conspiracy theories about alternative health and scare the shit out of people and make money selling products.
Okay.
Right.
And he's got a great story. And it turns out years later, he's not that much. I mean, he's a conspiracy theorist and pushes fear, but we're starting to see that a lot of conspiracy theories are actually true. For instance, fluoride is not healthy for you.
Right.
Like I could make you a story right now. My mom worked as a research assistant on the fluoride program back
Really? Wow.
the fuck it was.
Okay.
And she swears by it, dude. We get into arguments.
As does my dad. My dad's a dentist.
Right. Yeah. My parents also. Yeah. I mean, I
right.
grew up with the fluoride treatments on my teeth and all that. Yep.
My
100%.
mom was a dental hygienist. So Tellman, you and I probably talked about this at one point, but like she swears by it. Oh no, fluoride is safe. It's been researched. Yeah, good. Research, huh?
By
Trust
who?
science.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot of directions we can go with this. I unfortunately have to wrap up. It's 10 o'clock.
Okay.
We can wrap on this more. I'm happy to help you map this out, but there's definitely a path for this. We just need to tap into, are we going after people that we want to sell the system to? Are we going after people who want to sell the biz op, which we can? It's just going to take a little bit more creative brainstorming.
Yep.
The other thing to remember here, and I know we need to wrap, is Eric, if you're selling Kangen on the back, and we talked about this a little bit, but consider creating an info product that you can sell on the front, on the thank you page, low ticket. Consider creating your own low ticket offer that teaches people how to create a team that duplicates, that teaches people how to overcome imposter syndrome, that teaches people how to make their first sale in any network marketing opportunity, that teaches people how to build their network marketing business with short form video, so that you can make some of your money back right away when you're getting opt-ins for the Kangen webinar, right?
Okay. Yeah, I like that.
That would be a huge way to turn it around.
Yeah, there's so many ways to do this, and you just think like Kangen literally is your back end. I mean, you could focus exclusively on a biz op front end about, hey, I'm looking exclusively for people who want to start a network marketing company.
Right.
You need to be interested in personal health, this, that, and the other thing. I've run ads for network marketing companies. I've helped them build their corporate teams.
Okay.
So it can be done.
Yep.
And the ads, by the way, can end up being a lot easier than you think. These kind of offers usually piss me off when I see them because the ads are terrible. When you tell a good story, people love it. Like I'm talking about like it's literally like, Maud's journey or Maud's health journey. And then it's a picture of like a grandma and a grandpa sitting at home on the couch with their grandkids. And it's just this great little story about how they are able to be there with their family. And it's all possible because of working from home. And you're like, this is garbage. And then you look at the comments and the social proof and you're like, holy shit, this is working.
All right, cool.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Did you ever run into like compliance issues talking about health benefits and medical conditions with your doTERRA thing?
Not directly doTERRA.
Okay.
doTERRA did get doTERRA was under the microscope by the FDA while I was involved with them.
Okay, yep.
Fortunately, I am an anal retentive bastard when it comes to claims.
Okay, yep.
So I would not push the envelope, and it turned out to work in my favor.
Okay,
that's a really good subject line that I'm going to use to promote this episode.
Yeah. which is what? I'm an anal retentive bastard.
Just anal retentive.
He froze.
Nope, Tellman froze up.
Anal retentive bastard in quotes. I think it rivals baboon ass for breakfast.
Yeah. you let me know the open rates on that email when you send it out.
Oh, I will.
Yeah.
I will.
So,
all right, guys, rock and roll.
All right.
This is another awesome episode of Get Shit Done. We're going to wrap it up here, but the first thing I want to say is if you want to follow Rory and sign up to his awesome service, you guys should go over to unlimitedadcreative.com and get going with that. It's been great having you here today, Rory and Eric.
Yep.
If you guys aren't already a member of getshitdone.com, we just reopened the doors for free lifetime membership, even though we've been charging people to join. So if you're not already a member, go join at getshitdone.com if you're an entrepreneur who wants to increase your productivity and get shit done. And finally, the last commercial of this episode. Well, I guess, Eric, we didn't put Pure Path in the description because I wasn't sure if you were going to be here.
Oh, yeah. Right. I kind of jumped in last minute today.
I do have a few private sessions available next week if you want to work together doing hypnosis at workwithtellman.com. I'm currently offering a pay what it's worth to you very special offer where you decide the price. So check that out.
I'm going to do a shameless plug for my buddy Tellman that he doesn't know I'm going to do. So first off, Tellman loves to lead with hypnosis, right? This is why Tellman was like, did you lead with essential oils? Or did you lead with something else? Well, Tellman loves to lead with hypnosis and leave out kind of the really more important bleeding neck problems shit, which is, and by the way, I can say this because I worked with Tellman on a hypnosis company, and Tellman was the first hypnotist I ever worked with.
Okay.
What Tellman tends to leave out is, hey, would you like to be able to sleep better at night, wake up feeling refreshed and ready to take on the world with unstoppable confidence? Yes. How do I do it? I'm going to hypnotize you. That's a bad, the copy needs to be better, but like, it's fucking amazing that like we could do a wealth building session that helps to program my subconscious mind. But the side effects are better sleep, more energy, feeling kick ass.
Right.
Let's run with that. But yeah, go to workwithtellman.com, take him up on that offer. You will thank me later. You will thank yourself and sleep better tonight.
That's right. Awesome, Roy. Thank you
so much. Hi, guys. I'm going to Disney.
Rock and roll. Enjoy the day, everyone. Eric, you know what time it is?
It's time to get shit done.
It's time to get shit done. We're going to jump off the live stream and get to work. We'll talk to you guys soon. I hope you have a great day, and we will see you bright and early tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Eastern.
See you
This is
then.
Tellman.
This is Eric.
Over and out. Bye, guys. Yeah, we're going to have to get shit done walkie-talkies.
Oh, I know. Yeah.